Hey everyone! Welcome to today's video. We will be taking a look at Schedule 1, the cleanest and most efficient bungalow setup for flower. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the list of parts that you're going to need for this build. 10 large shelves totaling $600, a packaging station which is $100, 3 mixing station marks totaling $6,000, 16 suspension racks totaling $640, 16 moisture-preserving pots totaling $800, 16 full-spectrum grow lights totaling $3,200, 5 beds totaling $750, and these next two things are up to you, but I do think it really adds to the build. So, going to need 30 modern wall lamps totaling 3,000, and a grandfather clock. Those are both new items that have been added to the game, but grandfather clock is $3,000. The total of the whole build, nonetheless, is going to be $18,090. First of all, we're going to start with the lamps and go ahead and get these out of the way. You are going to need to go ahead and grab at least one suspension rack to help you place some of these lights. So, we're going to start in here. Put one of these in the corner, and you're going to line it up about with the top rail here. So, you can actually see these lights going to do it just like this. Go ahead and turn these on, and now we're going to move this and place it in the next corner so that we can actually line this up. As you can see, it's lined up about with that line there. I like it to be as even as possible, but it still looks very nice like this. So, go ahead and line it up. Line it up and then do it for the last corner, where you don't even need to have the lights on in the building and it's still going to look good. But what I go ahead and do is place 2 angled lights on the door here and then 2 more angled lights on the window over here. And in the end, this really does add to the build. Very nice, but we're going to go ahead and go around to all of these corners and add some lights about up to the top of this door frame, about this height all the way around. It might take a little bit of adjusting. And then place 2 lights like this, basically touching the cabinet, just a little bit off. Continuing on, putting these in the corners. Now, we just have to do this room. Place your grandfather clock. So you can actually estimate where it's going to be in the room. So I hold this in my hand, and then I swap to my lights to where it's perfectly lined up. And I place 2 lights right behind this. And it gives it kind of that nice glow effect. All right, we're going to run around and place some of these shelves to fill this in 2 shelves. Actually fit very nice right there next to it, and then you can put the 2 on either side. So the pots are going to transfer from in here to over here, which is very nice. And now let's grab out our suspension racks. Place a suspension rack along the side here and place all 8 of them. Actually, place them just like that. As you can see, our lights are lined up. We did that prior to this. Go ahead and place them through. Now let's put 2 large shelves. Right here. These are going to be the supplier large storage racks. So, this is where they're going to grab their seeds and their soil. From this will be the main source for them, and then this one right here will be the overstock. And then we're going to have another overstock shelf right out here for them. These last couple shelves that we got, we are going to place like so. That'll be our 10th shelf. We're going to put right here whenever we empty it off. So that we have all these set up, we're going to place a mixing station right here. Mixing station right here, and a mixing station right here. Run in here with the preserving pots and place one in every single one of these suspension racks. Then go ahead and go through and place your full spectrum grow lights. And now that we have gone ahead and done that, this room is pretty much done. So we're going to come out here and place our packing station and our couple beds. Going to place a bed here and here to leave us some room, and then these last 2 beds are going to go in here. Make it to where you can still have a little bit of space here. The workers can get through here. So, if you do end up having a bug with the worker standing still or not getting past it all, you have to do is save and reset or save and relog. So click the save button and then click the quit button and then just launch your world again. So now that we have all this set up, I would like to explain. We are going to put our first ingredient here. our second ingredient here, and our third ingredient here. I will now fill this up with a good starting mix. Now that we got our first ingredient, we are going to place it on our first ingredient shelf, going into the first mixer of the whole process. And now that we've got our second ingredient being horse semen, we're going to place it on our second ingredient shelf. So look at your mixer with your clipboard in your hand. Click Manage. Set the threshold to 10 and destination to the second mixer. Now click Escape, then click Manage on the second mixer up threshold to 10. Set the destination to the third mixing station. Click Escape. Click Manage, threshold destination to this packing station. And then we're going to manage the packaging station, and we are going to set the destination to our finished product shelf. Being this one right here or that one over there, up to you. I'm going to do this one, and now that we have all the ingredient shelves done, we are going to grab some soil. So I recommend buying at least 6 stacks of 10 soil, preferably the best soil. You can get extra long life soil and put 2 stacks on this shelf, 2 stacks on this shelf, and then 2 stacks on that back shelf. Sweet. And then all we need is seeds. So now that you have gone and got your seeds, I would prefer green crack seeds over the rest, just because green crack is actually the best. You can get in the game. It has 0% addictiveness, and it is suggested for 44. Green crack is suggested for 43 and has 34% addictiveness, which is so much better. So now that you have got your seeds, you want to go ahead and place the rest of these slots. Like, fill up all these slots on these 3 shelves with seeds. I don't have enough to fill these up just yet, but fill all of those up. This one in the back is the most important, so the seeds from this shelf will automatically get put on that one. Make sure you fill up the back shelf all the way. At least put one in each slot to wear that. It'll keep it full just like this because you don't want this all being filled up with soil, otherwise they're not going to be planting any seeds. And then after you've placed the seeds in the soil on all of these shelves, what you're going to do after that is fill up this shelf right here with jars, so that the handler can package the finished product from these mixing stations with these jars, and then the jars that are packed will be put here. So those jars will be used to give to your dealers, Brad, Molly, Benji, etc., and they will sell them out of the jars. All you're going to do is take a full jar. This one's just an example. You're going to put that in the slot here. The full jar, and then click the little blue arrow and turn it to unpackage, and you can actually unpack the jar and then pack it into a baggie if you would like to sell it like that. So the next step of the process is just going to be setting up our workers. First of all, we're going to start with our botanist. We're going to click Manage Botanist with our clipboard. In our hand, click Pots and Drying Racks and come inside and go to one side of the room. And we are going to hold Shift and click on 8 of these pots. And then once you have 8 pots clicked on, go ahead and click Enter. And then it will have all 8 pots selected out of 8. And we're going to click Supplies, and we're going to set the supply shelf to the one in the back. All done. Then, after you have that botanist set up, we're going to go outside and select the next pots and drying racks. Come inside the same room. Hold Shift and click on the other 8 pots, and then we're going to click Enter, and then all 8 pots are selected again. We're going to click Supplies, and we are going to set it to the same back shelf. Now, once we have the botanist set up, we are actually going to click on all of the pots, every single one of them in the room. So it should be 16 pots. We're going to click Seed and set it to the seed that you are using. I'm using green crack because it is a good mix that we have here. Actually sells for $102. So, after you get the seeds set on all the pots, swap off your clipboard and swap back and then click on 8 pots. Just one full side of the pots and click Manage Pots, and we're going to click Destination and we're going to set it to one of these back shelves. I'm going to set it to this one first. That's good. Scroll off the clipboard and go back and select the next 8 pots and then click Manage 8 pots. We're going to set the destination to the other side. So we are going to have 2 shelves that are getting full of all of the grown bud or flower out of the pots. So now that we have the botanist set up, we're going to go out here and manage our chemist and assign her to all 3 of the mixing stations. There's Assign 1, Assign 2, and Assign 3. We're going to start setting up our handlers. So, our first handler, we're going to click Assign Station and assign her to this packing station. Now, we're going to click Roots. Click from, and we're going to do this jar shelf to the packaging station. So we're going to click on the jar shelf, click to, and set it to the packing station. Now we are going to set her to these ingredient shelves. So click from this shelf to the first mixing station, and then also from this shelf to the first mixing station. Then we're going to click Add New again. Click from the first ingredient shelf to the first mixing station. Add New from the second ingredient shelf to the second mixing station. Now, her slots are all filled up. We're going to select the next handler going to manage. Click Add New from, and then we are going to do from the third ingredient shelf to the third mixing station. Now, the last part of this setup is going to be clicking Add New, and we're going to set up the next shelf. So, we're going to carry from this shelf to this shelf, and now we're going to click Add New again and go from this shelf right here in front to the back shelf. So, click the front shelf and then click to the back shelf. And now you are pretty much all set up. This is going to produce you quite a bit of jars a day. It might actually be pretty hard to keep up with this train. Being green crack, mega bean, horse, semen, and Viagra is going to sell for $102. So, you are going to start racking in cash and you get to look at a very nice setup all day. But the last thing is to set up the beds. You probably already know this. I'm going to run through and set up these beds, but if you don't know how to set up these beds, we're going to click on one of our workers and then click on a bed. Now you are all done. All you're going to have to do is go fill up these shelves, obviously, and pay your workers, and then you are going to start racking in cash. Thanks for watching OTRgamerTV. Please leave a like and comment your favorite game on the list and subscribe.